The icy cry that resounded beside Qing Yan's ear was not loud, but at this instant, it caused his soul to violently tremble because the cry contained a pressure that he was unable to resist. This kind of pressure originated from his soul and his bloodline, a matured royal bloodline. A paleness surfaced on Qing Yan's face the moment his body stiffened. His hand, which was close to landing on the top of Xiao Yan's head, suddenly halted. He did not hesitate even a little as his toes pressed against empty air to explosively pull back. Key. While Qing Yan's figure pulled back, a purple golden pillar suddenly shot out of the large cauldron. It penetrated empty space, and within the blink of an eye, it smashed into Qing Yan's body. Bang! The purple golden light exploded on Qing Yan's body. A frightening wind caused his throat to feel sweet as he spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. His body ended up flying back in a miserable manner. While Qing Yan was sent flying, Xiao and the other experts, who were fighting with He Qing's group around the volcano, experienced a drastic change. They hurriedly lifted their heads, and their eyes looked to the large cauldron, which was surrounded by a flame. A lovely figure vaguely surfaced from that spot. When that delicate figure appeared, they could clearly sense the blood within their bodies showing signs of boiling. They almost could not help but kneel in the sky after being driven by this boiling feeling. The true royal bloodline has been awakened. He Qing's eyes looked to the large cauldron as he muttered with excitement. The fiercely burning flame within the large cauldron was slowly extinguished in front of the many eyes present. A tall figure slowly appeared in front of everyone. The lady who had appeared was wearing a purple golden robe. A dragon and a phoenix were dancing on the robe. They appeared as though they were alive, emitting a noble aura that could not be hidden. The figure was tall and possessed long purple hair that poured down her body like a waterfall. Her hair spread over her narrow waist and reached her buttocks. The lady was extremely beautiful. Her purple eyes had transformed into a purple golden color. They appeared mysterious, containing a magical charm. Under the gaze of these purple golden eyes, it was as though the entire world would submit to her. The current Ziyin no longer possessed the appearance of a little girl. Instead, she had turned into a mature lady whose beautiful appearance could bring disaster to a country or a city. Numerous eyes were initially absent-minded because of Ziyan's noble aura. Their eyes gathered on the spot behind her. A pair of 10-foot-long purple golden wings were gently being flapped. Wind was created, and the sound of thunder was vaguely emitted when the wings were flapped, shaking one's very soul. Heavenly phoenix wings, ancient dragon body. The excitement on He Qing's face grew even denser when he saw the pair of purple gold wings on Ziyan's back. A moment later, he suddenly knelt in the sky. His respectful voice contained a devotion that originated from his heart. "Greetings to your majesty, Dragon Emperor. Greetings to your majesty, Dragon Emperor." After He Qing spoke, the experts from the Eastern Dragon Island immediately knelt down with wild expressions. They all gave their greetings in an orderly manner. Xiao, Qing Yan, and the other experts from the other islands also revealed a different expression when they saw this scene. They were not members of the Eastern Dragon Island. Due to them having submitted to the three great dragon kings for a long period of time, they did not act like He Qing and the rest despite having sensed the pressure that originated from their soul and bloodline. Xiao, Qing Yan, all of you are really bold. You are not kneeling down after seeing the Dragon Emperor. He Qing turned his head suddenly and furiously yelled at Qing Yan's group. Ah! Qing Yan and Xiao dryly chuckled when they heard He Qing's furious cry. Their blood was completely suppressed upon being looked at by the purple golden eyes from a distance. This kind of pressure was far stronger than the pressure from the bodies of the three great dragon kings. We have seen the Dragon Emperor, but we are all the subordinates of the dragon kings. We will come and meet the Dragon Emperor in the future when we have the time." The two of them exchanged looks before hardening their skin. After uttering these words, the both of them no longer dared to remain any longer. Their bodies swiftly withdrew. Bastards! He Qing was extremely furious when he saw these people turning around to flee. He was just about to give chase when Ziyin, who had just stepped out of the large cauldron, waved her hand. The purple golden wings on her back were flapped and her body appeared in front of Xiao Yin in a ghost-like fashion. When she saw his blood-covered eyes and stiffened hands, her purple gold eyes, which always seemed to contain an endless amount of nobility, finally displayed a fluctuation. "Rest first. It has been tough on you." Ziyan's hand was gently placed on Xiao Yan's forehead. A rich purple-golden light materialized from Ziyan's body. It followed her finger and swiftly entered Xiao Yan's body. Within the blink of an eye, his body was wrapped by a purple-golden light. Xiao Yan's blood-covered eyes were slowly shut. "Great Dragon Emperor, it is all thanks to little brother's tireless efforts during this period of time that the Dragon Phoenix crystal has melted." He Qing rushed forward and respectfully explained the situation. I know." Ziyin gently nodded her head. After having transformed to her current form, it seemed that her character had become completely different than before. Her indifferent coldness seemed to contain a nobility that was comparable with that of the world. In the face of this aura, even He Qing did not dare to treat her as that mischievous little girl from back then. Instead, he regarded her as the new Dragon Emperor of the ancient Void Dragon tribe. Take good care of him and allow him to rest properly. Leave the matter of the Dragon Island to me. Ziyin handed over Xiao Yin, who was still covered by a purple gold light, and gave an order. Understood. He Qing hurriedly supported Xiao Yin in a respectful manner upon hearing this, after which he held Xiao Yin in his arms as he swiftly pulled back. After He Qing and Xiao Yin withdrew, the purple golden eyes of Ziyin drifted around the ancient Dragon Island, which was still embroiled in numerous fights. The wings behind her were gently flapped. Her lovely figure immediately appeared high in the sky, appearing as though she had teleported. She looked down at all the battles from high above. A rich purple golden light continued to spread from within her body like an ocean wave. It scattered over every corner of the ancient dragon island like rain. What a powerful bloodline pressure. Such a pressure is something that even the three great dragon kings do not possess. That is, Dragon Emperor? All the battlegrounds within the ancient dragon island halted almost instantly when the purple golden light spread. Everyone was completely stunned. While being bathed in this kind of purple golden light, they could sense that even the blood within their bodies had suddenly slowed. Man Yan's eyes were shocked as he looked to the sky. The dragon claws, dragon arms, etc. on his body began to transform under the purple gold light. In the blink of an eye, he once again returned to the appearance of a regular old man. Even his aura had become a lot more sluggish. Has it really succeeded? Elder Zhuli was stunned as he studied the figure in the sky. A moment later, an excitement that was difficult to restrain swiftly surged into his heart. Both of his legs slowly knelt in the sky. Old tears fell. A dragon emperor has finally appeared in the ancient void dragon tribe. Bang bang. Numerous figures in the sky, on the ground, and around the mountain respectfully and sincerely knelt at this moment. Even some of the weaker experts from the other three islands hesitated for a moment before they were finally unable to resist the pressure that originated from their blood and soul. Their legs were bent, and they suddenly knelt. The ancient dragon tribe did not kneel to the heavens or the earth. In their hearts, the true god was the dragon emperor, who possessed a perfect royal bloodline. At this moment, many were willing to give up everything because of their inherited bloodline and the faith of their souls. The fact that the ancient dragon tribe had been split for many years, and that quite a number of experts from the three dragon islands possessed a majestic aura of the three great dragon kings, didn't matter. With the appearance of the dragon emperor, the three great dragon kings are really going to panic.
Man Jan softly seid.
Although someone as strong as him did not kneel at this moment, he still bowed his body to figure in the distant sky. The matter today has completely failed. With the great dragon emperor present on the eastern dragon island, the elites of the other three islands no longer possess even the slightest fighting strength. Man Yan's eyes were similarly grave as he exchanged glances with Xiao. An ordinary tribe member of the ancient Void Dragon tribe was unable to attack the Dragon Emperor. Even someone of their strength would not dare to do something this outrageous. The commanders from the three islands. Leave with your people within 10 breaths' time. While the two of them were sighing, a calm voice that was filled with a prestige that could not be resisted slowly descended from the distant sky. Man Yin and Xiao bitterly laughed upon hearing these words. Man Yin turned his head to look at Julie. He softly said, "The persistence of the Eastern Dragon Island is perhaps correct. However, all of you should be careful in the future. The three great dragon kings are all people filled with wild ambition. They will not allow the great dragon emperor to unite the ancient dragon tribe." Man Yin ceased remaining any longer after he spoke. He waved his hand and led the many human figures into the empty space outside of the eastern dragon island. The people from the other two islands also hurriedly followed. They did not dare to hesitate even a little. After you return, inform the three great dragon kings that the ancient Void Dragon tribe has only had a single dragon emperor since ancient times. There are no dragon kings. When the time comes, this emperor will personally retrieve the trace of royal bloodline in them. The figure that was covered by a purple golden light in the sky once again spoke when the experts from the three islands fled into the empty space. The bodies of Man Yan's group involuntarily trembled when these words entered their ears. It seemed that a great change would occur within the ancient Void Dragon tribe very soon. This new great dragon emperor was infuriated by the arrogant and domineering actions of the three great dragon kings. The fury of a dragon emperor would shake the world. A blurry conscience drifted within the purple golden light. Numerous icy cool auras seeped out of the light before merging with the conscious. This kind of assimilation continued for a long time before the purple golden light finally became dim. The icy aura also weakened until it finally disappeared. Following the scattering of the purple golden light, the blurry conscious emitted a faint coolness. The conscious finally began to awaken. Sunlight scattered into the spacious room. It penetrated the window and left behind numerous light spots on the ground. A human figure was quietly lying on a bed. The figure's tightly shut eyes suddenly trembled. They soon opened with some difficulty. When his eyes were opened, the glaring sunlight caused Xiao Yan's to knit his brows. He shook his head and the churning memories in his mind immediately surged over like floodwater, causing his head to vaguely feel some pain. This place is... Xiao Yan sat up from the bed. His eyes were at a loss as they swept around him. He recalled that he ought to be refining the Dragon Phoenix crystal for Ziyin, and he seemed to recall that the ancient Dragon Island had been attacked.
Ziyan.
Xiao Yan was startled when he recalled Ziyin. His palms pressed on the bed. He had just sat up when he heard a creak sound. The hard bed was forcefully turned into dust. He momentarily became stunned. He looked at his hands in a startled manner. At this moment, he realized that his physical strength seemed to have suddenly soared. What happened? Xiao Yan knit his brows. He lifted his sleeve, only to discover that there was a faint, purple-golden color vaguely visible beneath his skin. At a glance, it appeared like metal, giving one the thought that it was extremely hard. Creak. While Xiao Yan was feeling at a loss because of the changes in his body, The door to the room was pushed open. Two figures swiftly walked in. They rejoiced upon seeing that Xiao had woken up. He laughed, "Little friend Xiao, you have finally awakened."
Elder Julie.
Xiao hurriedly got up when he saw the old man enter the room with He Qing behind him. Xiao cupped his hands to the two of them and smiled. "Ha ha, little friend Xiao need not be this polite. You have done our ancient Void Dragon clan a great favor. We are not worthy of such politeness." Elder Julie waved his hand and laughed. "Ziyin has succeeded?" Xiao heart moved upon hearing these words. He hurriedly asked, "Yes." Julie grinned and nodded. Anyone could see his current joy. "Where is Ziyin?" Xiao eyes swept around as he asked in a stunned manner. The great Dragon Emperor has yet to completely absorb all of the energy within the Dragon Phoenix origin fruit. After appearing and defeating those who had come to invade, she undertook a retreat. It is likely that the retreat will be quite long this time around.
Elder Julie Lauga.
Xiao nodded upon hearing this explanation, but still felt a little disappointed. His heart wasn't able to relax without being able to see the girl. "There appears to have been some changes to my body?" Xiao hand gently rubbed his arm before he suddenly asked a question with some hesitation. "Ha ha, has little friend Xiao discovered it?" Elder Julie smiled and continued, "This was done by the great Dragon Emperor. She inserted a portion of the Dragon Phoenix strength into your body and activated the ancient dragon essence blood that you had consumed. Thus, your physical body has been strengthened. The strength of your current should not be inferior to that of a magical beast that has reached the Do Zun class." Surprise flashed across Xiao eyes. No wonder he had sensed that something was not quite right. His physical body had strengthened an insane amount. The Dragon Phoenix strength is not as simple as you have imagined. Focus your mind and activate that unfamiliar strength within your body. See just what will happen. Elder Julie spoke in a mysterious manner.
Ugh.
Xiao hesitated for a moment upon hearing his words. He nodded and shut both of his eyes. After focusing his mind, he swiftly found the foreign energy lingering within his flesh and activated it. With the activation of this energy, Xiao suddenly sensed that his entire body was emitting a sore feeling. It felt as though a countless number of ants were biting his entire body, causing his heart to be startled. He hurriedly opened his eyes. He was shocked to see that every part of his body except for his head had formed a countless number of purple golden dragon scales. These dragon scales covered Xiao body, appearing just like armor. They seemed to be indestructible. These are the dragon scale clothes. It is a defensive skill that the ancient Void Dragon tribe possesses. However, your dragon scale clothes are not ordinary. Instead, they are a high-grade Dragon Phoenix ancient armor. Elder Julie smiled as he studied the surprise that surfaced on Xiao face. Hee, this Dragon Phoenix ancient armor is good stuff. With this thing along with your actual strength, you will only suffer a minor injury even if you receive a punch from the 9th Tianzuan of the Hall of Souls. He Qing laughed. His tone appeared a little envious. He knew a lot about this Dragon Phoenix ancient armor from the ancient books that only a member of the ancient Void Dragon had access to. The shock on Xiao face was slowly withdrawn. He clenched his hand out of curiosity. His heart felt a strong, indestructible feeling. It is indeed good stuff. Xiao was aware that his defensive strength had increased by 2 or 3 levels because of this Dragon Phoenix ancient armor. An attack below that of a 6-star Do Zun was unable to cause him any harm. Even if he met an expert like the 9th Tianzuan and was hit a couple of times, he would not end up with any overly serious injury. This Dragon Phoenix ancient armor will usually hide under your skin. It will immediately appear when you activate it. Elder Julie laughed. Xiao smiled and nodded. A thought passed through his mind, and the purple golden scales swiftly returned beneath his skin. They completely disappeared amid an icy cold feeling. After manipulating the Dragon Phoenix ancient armor to appear and hide, Xiaoyan gradually became familiar with it. His heart became more pleased with this thing. That's right. Where is Qinglin? After playing with this Dragon Phoenix armor for a while, Xiaoyan finally withdrew his attention and asked in an uncertain manner, "Ha ha, that girl has the soul of an ancient heavenly serpent within her body. Moreover, it the most ferocious nine-headed heavenly serpent among the ancient heavenly serpents. This fellow's natural state is extremely brutal. Even though that girl can rely on the triple jade-green snake flower pupils to control it, the nine-headed heavenly serpent will definitely bite back as its strength gradually recovers. It will try control her." Zhu fondled his beard as he spoke with a smile. Oh. Xiaoyan's expression also changed a little when he heard this reply. It was unexpected that it was not possible to subdue the nine-headed heavenly serpent even with the triple jade-green snake flower pupils. Since that little girl is your friend, we will naturally help her. We have allowed her to train in the ancient dragon tomb after you ended up unconscious. That place is where the many ancient dragons over the generations rest. The dragon aura there is extremely vigorous. It can suppress the nine-headed heavenly serpent soul, allowing it to be refined and absorbed. Zhu smiled as he gave an explanation. Therefore, there is no need for you to worry. Once that little girl completely refines the nine-headed heavenly serpent, her strength will soar. It will be very easy for her to gain the strength of the nine-headed heavenly serpent soul since she is in possession of the triple jade-green snake flower pupils. Xiaoyan quietly nodded. Qinling was merely a one-star Dozun. However, she was able to fight with a six-star Dozun after borrowing the strength of the nine-headed heavenly serpent soul. If she were able to refine and absorb it, it was likely that she would, at the very least, become a five-star Dozun. Xiaoyan involuntarily smiled and shook his head when he thought of this. If one put it in this manner, this girl's strength would soar by at least 4 stars. This was far faster than him absorbing a heavenly flame. The triple jade-green snake flower pupils were indeed worthy of being called the best pupils in the world. In that case, I will remain on the ancient dragon island for a period of time. If we meet something like what happened last time, I will be able to lend a hand. Since Qinglin was still training, it was naturally not appropriate for Xiaoyan to leave alone. He mused for a moment before revealing his plan. Haha, you are naturally welcome to stay. The great Dragon Emperor instructed us to treat little friend Xiaoyan as a VIP before she left on her retreat. None of us will dare to slight you even a little. After her appearance, the old me sent news to summon the elders of the clan, who are training in the empty space. These old fellows did not wish to get involved while the ancient Void Dragon tribe was split. They had left and have not returned after many years. However, with the great Dragon Emperor appearing once again, it is likely that they will return. Zhu fondled his beard and laughed. Once these fellows return, the Eastern Dragon Island will be impregnable unless the 3 great Dragon Kings arrive. Xiaoyan's heart moved when he heard this. It seemed that this ancient Void Dragon clan, which had been quiet for many years, was finally beginning to act. Should they be united once again, it was likely that their strength would soar once more. At that time, it would return to being an ultimate faction. That's right. Elder Zhu, may I know if there is anywhere within empty space where thunderbolts gather? Xiaoyan mused for a moment before suddenly asking a question. The sky demon puppet within his storage ring had nearly been crippled by that expert from the profound sky sect. It could no longer be used to fight. However, by using the strength of lightning, the sky demon puppet could be repaired. Pill lightning could only be attracted by a tier 7 or tier 8 medicinal pill, which were a little too troublesome. Pill lightning would not do. Therefore, he could only consider natural lightning. However, such lightning was extremely rare in the outside world, and the lightning there was too weak and too little. They could not provide the sky demon puppet with sufficient energy. Hence, he could only place his attention on the empty realm. This was another realm. Its danger was far greater than the central plains. However, this danger contained a lot of mystery. Elder Zhu was slightly startled upon hearing Xiao Yan's words. He contemplated the question for a while before slowly nodding his head in front of Xiao Yan's joyful eyes. There is indeed a spot within empty space near the eastern Dragon Island where thunderbolts gather. Swoosh! An enormous light shadow rushed through empty space like lightning. A strange ripple spread from this light figure and blocked the omnipresent tearing force that was being emitted from the emptiness. The light figure gradually approached. Only then would one discover that it was an enormous black dragon. A figure was seated on the head of the large dragon. That figure appeared to be Xiao Yan. The ancient void dragon is worthy of its name. Only they are able to roam around as they please within this empty realm. If some other magical beast or human expert tried to roam like this, they would not be able to move so smoothly even if they could fly within this place for short distances. Xiao Yan looked at the empty space that was swiftly flying by. His mouth could not resist letting out a low exclamation. A spatial collapse could occur within this empty realm at any moment. Moreover, the omnipresent tearing force could tear an ordinary elite Dozun into pieces. Unless one possessed the ability to preserve one's life, there were seldom anyone who dared to travel within this emptiness. Little brother Xiao Yan, we should be able to reach the void lightning pool that third elder mentioned. During the time that Xiao Yan was muttering to himself, that enormous black dragon suddenly spoke with the human language. That tone was surprisingly that of He Qing. I. Xiao Yan nodded slightly. His heart vaguely felt some anticipation. That so-called void lightning pool was where lightning gathered according to Elder Zhu. It was rumored that that space was extremely mysterious. It emitted a natural suction force that caused a large amount of energy to gather in chaos before eventually forming into a countless number of thunderbolts. It was usually quite a dangerous area. If Xiao Yan hadn't been so insistent, Elder Zhu would not have mentioned it. He Qing swung his huge tail in empty space, and his enormous body shot forward in a lightning-like manner. In the blink of an eye, a bright glow formed as his body disappeared at the end of the emptiness. Qi. Xiao Yan's eyes narrowed when he sensed the whistling wild wind that rushed by his ears. A moment later, he discovered that the end of the empty space had begun to vaguely leak a flickering silver light. There was an unusually wild and violent energy materializing there. Have we arrived? Xiao Yan's heart moved as he sensed this somewhat familiar energy. He slowly stood up on the enormous dragon head as his eyes stared at the silver luster. The silver luster was rapidly growing. A rumbling thunder also resonated next to Xiao Yan's ears in an earth-shaking manner. Hiss! Xiao Yan took in the scene in front of him while standing on the enormous dragon head. His eyes were filled with shock. A nearly 10,000-foot-large lake appeared in front of Xiao Yan. However, the interior of the lake did not consist of ordinary water. Instead, it was filled with bright silver thunderbolts. This was a lightning pool that had been formed from thunderbolts. Loud rolling thunder roared from the lightning pool as Xiao Yan stood in front of it. It caused one's heart to tremble. Anyone standing at this spot would feel exceptionally small. What a dense thunderbolt strength! Xiao Yan slowly recovered from this shock a long while later as he muttered to himself. The thunderbolt strength contained within this lightning pool was far stronger than all of the pill lightning attracted during the pill gathering. It is indeed a dangerous place. Little brother Xiao Yan, are you certain you wish to train here? The enormous dragon that He Qing had transformed into studied this spacious lightning pool with astonished eyes. The energy of this place caused even him to feel a little afraid. He had not expected this empty space, which was not very far from the eastern Dragon Island, to be so dangerous. Xiao smiled and nodded. With this lightning pool, he believed that he would be able to repair the damaged Sky Demon puppet and rapidly increase the strength of the remaining 10 demon puppets. It would not be impossible for them to be strengthened until they became Sky Demon puppets. If they were able to really reach that stage, Xiao would possess 11 Sky Demon puppets. This was equivalent to 11 elite Dozuns. This lineup was really quite powerful. Old brother Qing, I will enter first. I will send a signal if something happens. Xiao was anxious to enter the pool. He spoke to Qing with a grin. Qing was helpless when he saw that Xiao really wanted to enter the lightning pool. He could only nod his head and say, I will guard the lightning pool during this period of time until you finish your training. If you meet any unexpected problems, you'll release the signal we agreed upon earlier, and I will enter and rescue you. Ha, in that case, I will trouble old brother Qing. Xiao grinned. He understood that these were the instructions that Elder Zhuli had given Qing. He ceased saying anything more and gave one last smile and nod. His toes pressed against the enormous dragon's head, and his body rushed forward with lightning-like speed. A heavenly flame swiftly surged and wrapped around his body. Splash! The moment Xiao charged into the lightning pool, many thunderbolts began to rush over like snakes. These bolts of lightning smashed toward Xiao, but only emitted a slight, muffled sound when they came into contact with the heavenly flames. Finally, they would be annihilated. Although the thunderbolts were mighty, they were still inferior when compared with a heavenly flame that possessed a destructive strength. This qualification and ability is what allowed Xiao to charge into this lightning pool alone. A powerful glow erupted around the large black dragon when he saw Xiao land into the lightning pool without a problem. The dragon swiftly turned into a strong figure. Both of his legs were crossed, and he sat down within the empty space. His eyes focused on the interior of the lightning pool.
Bang, bang, bang.
Silver snake-like thunderbolts continued to detonate within the lightning sea. Xiao quietly stood within the protection of the heavenly flame. The surrounding thunderbolts had perhaps become afraid of the strength of the heavenly flame, since there were not as many thunderbolts wildly attacking Xiao now. Seeing that the lightning pool did not riot because of his entry, Xiao also sighed in relief within his heart. He sensed the surrounding thunderbolt strength, hesitated for a moment, and finally lifted his foot and walked deep into the lightning pool. He walked in this manner for nearly 1,000 feet or so before he finally came to a stop. The lightning strength of this place was quite rich. Moreover, it vaguely gave Xiao a kind of partially present pressure. If I venture deeper, it is likely that the thunderbolt strength would be even more terrifying. At the deepest parts, it was likely that even a heavenly flame will not be able to block it. Xiao revealed an expression of deep thought. This empty realm lightning pool had gathered lightning strength for countless number of years. Naturally, it was extremely terrifying. If he was careless and stir the lightning pool's retaliation, it was likely that he would instantly be turned to ashes even with the protection of the heavenly flame. Let's use this place. After deciding, Xiao ceased hesitating and sat down at this place. He calmed himself down a little and waved his hand. The Sky Demon puppet, which had been beaten by the Elder of the Profound Sky, sect until many holes were present, flashed, and appeared. The dark golden glow over the current Sky Demon puppet was extremely dim. Every part of its body was dented. Some parts of the shriveled skin were showing signs of cracking. These fellows were really ruthless. Profound Sky Sect, you will have to pay for this debt sooner or later. Xiao laughed coldly. Immediately, he inhaled a deep breath of air. His sleeve was swung, and a gentle force pushed the Sky Demon puppet in front of him towards a spot a short distance away. That place was one where the thunderbolt strength specially gathered towards.
Bang, bang, bang.
The Sky Demon puppet had just flown out when the permeating thunderbolt seemed to have been attracted by something. They suddenly turned and wildly smashed onto the sky demon puppet in a violent fashion. However, these seemingly wild and violent thunderbolts were just like water coming into contact with a sponge when they touched the body of the sky demon puppet. All of them would immediately disappear. Wild lightning danced within the lightning pool. Numerous 100 feet, or even hundreds of feet large thunderbolt began to revolt violently at this moment. They were accompanied by a rumbling thunder sound that struck towards the sky demon puppet from all directions. Under this kind of wild and violent furious thunderbolts, the dim dark golden body of the sky demon puppet actually began to become bright at an extremely slow pace. Some of its dents gradually protruded out once again. This healing speed was extremely slow. The thunderbolt strength in this place might be enormous, but in terms of its actual might, it was inferior to a true 5-colored pill lightning. Hence, the healing speed was naturally much slower. Although it was a little slow, Xiao was still quite satisfied with it. If he was to refine pills in order to attract pill lightnings to heal the sky demon puppet, there was no telling just how many high-tier medicinal pills he would need to refine. This kind of bitter task would not be any easier than helping Ziyin refine the Dragon Phoenix crystal layer. According to this speed, the sky demon puppet can likely be completely healed within half a month. Xiao grinned as he watched the sky demon puppet being wrapped by bright thunderbolts. He hesitated for a moment before suddenly flicking his storage ring. 10 Earth Demon puppets appeared beside him. I wonder if these Earth Demon puppets can be completely strengthened into Sky Demon puppets here. Xiao licked his mouth. A fiery heat danced within his dark black eyes. If these 10 Earth Demon puppets could be evolved into Sky Demon puppets, and that they were to form a formation with the original Sky Demon puppet, he wondered just what kind of level would the final Sky Demon puppet formed from the superimposing of strength reach. Xiao heart immediately became boiling hot when he thought until this point. This kind of increase in strength was really too alluring.